Sure. Um, asked a question about, is there anything you can do to stop yourself being hypnotized by the different attractor fields, the negative attractor fields, which society is full of? And I think someone's come online. I'll put them on mute. Let me see. Okay, that's not right, is it? Okay. Yeah. All right. So it's more or less the best thing to do is if you have a muscle tester, they'll actually find out your weaknesses and where you're being attacked, and will give you specific remedies or prayers or cancellations to shore up where you're weak in your chakras and where the negative energies can get to you. So that's probably the best way is to have a muscle tester or an advanced teacher, which is very rare. Otherwise, having groups, mentors will help to guard you against taking on things. Because if you've got a wise mentor, they'll say, look, these friends or these groups you're going to, probably not a good idea. You're probably getting ideas and getting into things that you shouldn't be getting into. So their wisdom and their intuition and their allegiance to God and to guide you correctly will give you some safeguarding. However, as Hawkins said, 85% of the world is below integrity. I would say nearly most of TV, most of the news, most of social media, most of it is entraining you with negative messages and ego stuff. So hence my thing of entraining you, being aware of Hawkins' research and what are the highest levels. Like Hawkins' own work is, like eye subjectivity and reality is probably about a 1,000 calibration. It's the level of the avatars. Very few have reached those levels. So you're entraining yourself with his lectures and with his reading material at the highest level. And so I would, of course, take advantage. I mean, for me, it'd be daft not to. And in fact, all the other teachers who haven't got muscle testing are at risk of falling. And as Hawkins found out, he would recommend living teachers and have to take back his recommendations very rapidly, as the teacher had already fallen. So, uh, so if you could not use the chat while I'm recording, thank you. And yeah, so I just lost my thread there.
Maybe you could speak to the possession question.
What was the question on possession? How that happens? Oh yes, sorry, yeah, got it. Yeah. So each person will have weaknesses in their chakra, belief systems, or limiting ideas that they picked up through their past lives and through their karma and through their interactions and subscriptions. So, for example, people may have, depending on what chakra, it could be lust, it could be greed, it could be pride, it could be various things, indulging in self-pity, needing to control things. So there are various weaknesses, and you also get, um, depending on how high you go, the energies that you also have weaknesses to subscribe. You want to watch some garbage TV or mix with some friends who drink alcohol and drugs. So you also have those kind of things going on, which will be, there'll be a call from that attractor field and there'll be a call within you that's weak. And if there's entities or demons, they know how to play to that and sort of pull your weakness. Watch this video, go to that group, go to that lovely nightclub where they play the gangster rap music and all those druggies are there. It's more exciting than listening to Hawkins non-stop. So that's how they do. I mean, they're one of the things is they can read your aura and where you're weak. They've been, as Hawkins said, they've been around for thousands of years. They know how to hook into you, how to influence you, whether it's with spending money inappropriately, sex, food, pride. wallowing in self-pity, needing to control situations, all of that stuff. So um, if you if you go negative enough, of course, you can be well, you are subscribing to the energy field, so the thoughts start dominating you from that energy field and run you. And uh, there's something I can just repeat from Hawkins on a much more darker note. So the negative attractor fields, some of the main ways they come into and dominate is violent video games and MTV music and all that gangster rap, and even Motown and stuff like that, where they're negatively entraining you. So you do some Motown, listen to some gangster rap, then you take some drugs. Of course, you can get taken over, and that's what happens with the children who watch do violent video games. Is they get demonic possession. They get a demon in their head saying, go into school, go into university and shoot all your classmates dead. This is the word of God, and they do that. So that is demonic possession. So you don't even have to take the drugs, just watching me, listening to music. You've got to understand with yeah, once you get entrained to a negative field, it tries to entrain you to the next lower field and the next lower field as it takes you down. And then eventually possession by entities is probably quite likely as you go downhill. So entrainment with the highest energy fields, teachers, books, music, is your safeguarding. Um, Otherwise, I do recommend praying earnestly for God to provide you with a kinesiologist. Probably the safest ways if you can muscle test your weaknesses and if you're being attacked, where you're being attacked, what you should and what you shouldn't do, the perfect prayers and cancellation of beliefs for you specifically. Then that would give you a fantastic um, fast track to enlightenment, where all the other teachers are blind and all the other students are blind. You'd have the be able to see the wolf in sheep's clothing and not be taken advantage of. Okay, so I'm gonna stop recording and press stop.